Good afternoon, everyone. It's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I am an independent demonstrator, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, in Canada, on the West Coast, just outside of Vancouver. So, welcome to my Wednesday live. And I'm just going to wait for some of you to jump on. And in the meantime, I'm just going to make sure that I'm actually broadcasting and that you can hear me. So that when you do get here, jump on in the meantime, I'm just going to looks like my sound is working, so that's awesome, and I'm on the right page. Oh gosh, that's great. So now I just need some folks to pop on, and let me just refresh this, and then I can see comments. Hopefully, I can see your comments. And what looks like the right button to push. I'm going to scroll over here and see. Hi, Diane. You're my first one on today. How are you? Here we go. Guys. How you doing, Di? Nice to see ya. Okay. Oh, my hair is sticking up. I look like one of those chickens or those roosters from Hey Chuck with their hair all up in the air. I'm going to be using, let me just share my other screen with you guys. We're going to be playing with the horse and sleigh. I want to say horse and buggy, but it's horse and sleigh. So this is the bundle that's available as an online exclusive. You're good. Oh, that's good. You're fine. I hope you're better than fine, precious. I'd like to see that you're fine. It's an online exclusive. Now, we've talked about online exclusives, and I know that sometimes it's intimidating to go to my online store, which is Shop Crazy with Alison. But if you go over there, you can, and hit the Shop Now button, you can see products that aren't in the catalog, but that you can purchase. And this horse and sleigh bundle with fabulous other products is available as part of that suite of products. So we're gonna play with it today. And then I'm going to talk about a class that I'm offering at the end of August. So there's time to register for that. And hope that you will come. So it's just you and me so far, Diane. It's only 2 minutes after start time, so maybe others will jump on. But you and I are going to start because people can watch the replay. Okay? Go over here. Here we are. So let me just roll over here and we'll talk about this fantastic suite. So we've got our stamps here. They're photopolymer, you guys. Just to show you, photopolymer. Okay. And we've got the coordinating dies. Okay. So here's the ones I'm going to use today. I'm going to use the horse and sleigh. So you can see it's going to cut out that image. Okay. We've also got dies that cut out the trees. I got a die that cuts out the hair here, and we've got a couple of snow drifts and some swirling snow. I think that's what that is. I haven't used that one yet. I have to see what that one is. So that's what we're going to use. Now, let me tell you about my class in case you want to come, because it's going to be really fun. I have got a class that uses some of these products that are in the horse, I think it's called One Horse Open Sleigh. That's the actual suite. So we've got designer series paper. Now it comes in 6x6, and I'm going to give you half a pack. So you're going to get 2 of every one that I'm showing you now. Okay, it's part of your goodie bag. So look at these. Aren't they beautiful? There's scenes already on them. Look at this one, little snowy cabin, little fox in the snow. This is a pretty one. Little Bambi there. Some more snow scenes. There you go. So there's 12 different designs, but of course everything is double-sided whenever we have designer series paper, right? So then you've got the other side to pick from. And the package comes with 4 of each of these. But as part of the class goodie bag, you're going to get 24 sheets. Okay, so half a pack. You're also going to get a full package of, now what are these called? Adhesive back snowflake assortments. So they got 2 sizes here. We got sort of copper, gold, white. It's kind of the color scheme here. Lots of those. And then I'm also giving you a full roll of the Night of Navy. And what is this width here? 3/8 of an inch. So 1 centimeter of the Night of Navy bordered ribbon. So that's the goodie bag. Okay. And you also get, we're going to make 4 cards, and you're going to get a PDF with all the instructions. And then we're going to gather together, if you can make it, on the 29th of August. Gosh, time flies. 29th of August. And we're going to create the 4 cards together. If you can't make it live, that's okay. You can just join us later, and you can watch the replays. Okay. Now, I do want to say that if you purchase the bundle, so it's the stamps with the dies, if you purchase that, I'll order it for you and direct ship it to you. I'm going to give you a whole pack. Hi, Mom. I'm going to give you a whole pack of the DSP. Okay. So I only have limited amounts of DSP. So if you want to join, I think I've got 6 people so far, and I have a maximum of 10. So time is running out. All right. So should we get started? Okay. So let me pull in all my little bits of paper here. Okay. Lean over myself here. I got a new, what do you call it? This is like a big, huge mouse pad. I think they call it a gaming pad. It's like a mouse pad, but it's for gamers, you know, when they're using all their stuff. But mine was getting so awful and dirty and ugly that I treated myself to this one. So I got a new one. So it's kind of throwing me off a bit. So what I've got here is a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. This is boho blue. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. So let me just get this position so you can see what I'm doing. And I want to go ahead and score this. Let me grab my instructions. We're going to score it at 1 inch. So I'm going to just line that up with 1 inch. Okay. And then 2 inches. And then 5 1/4. It's a bit different than what we're used to. Okay. So then this is going to get folded up on these score lines, and we're going to be creating a card that stands up. So it's like a little step card. Okay. Let's grab our, oh, here we go. Our bone folder. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Let's grab our bone folder and just really give those a crease. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's our card base. It's a little bit different than normal. That's what we've got. Okay. Now I've grabbed some of that designer series paper. Let me grab it here. I cut 2 pieces. This piece here is 1 inch by 5.5. And I'm just going to make sure, grab my ruler here. I just want to make sure that I haven't grabbed, no, that's correct. So this one just needs trimmed off. It's just too long. So I have to cut that off at 5.5. I left it as 6. Okay. So there we go. Now I can go ahead and I want to glue that down to that little section at the front, the little step at the front. Okay. Hi, Elaine. Nice to see you. Hope you're keeping well and the fires aren't, I've been following the last day or so, but I saw the fires were licking at the town, and I was thinking of all of you, all my friends in Kamloops, and hoping everybody's okay. Might have been on the other side of town. Gosh, let's get the glue going here. Okay, so I'm going to add my glue. And I want to just glue this, making sure I'm gluing my trees going the right way, right? There we go. Okay. Go. All right. Now, in this piece here is 5.5, and we've got it, what, 3 1/4 inch deep. And I think, yeah. So I've just gone ahead and cut that same DSP to fit there. Okay, so we can go ahead and glue that on. So many beautiful pattern paper in this One Horse Open Sleigh paper. That you're never going to run out of ideas and what to choose. It's just going to be hard to pick which one you like best. Okay, so that's what we've got. We've got this little piece here. We're not going to worry about putting anything on there. Okay. Hi, Keisha. Nice to see ya. Glad you're okay. All right. So then what I want to do is I want to cut out some of these trees. Let me show you. So this is just a tree that comes as part of the dies. Okay. Now I'm going to try something that I haven't tried before I went live. So this could go either way, but we'll see. I have grabbed some of our adhesive sheets. So these are double-sided pieces of adhesive. So it's a very kind of a light glue. It's not too thick or too heavy. But what you do with this is I've cut this to a size where I can then put my cardstock on, which you'll see why in a minute. So let's take off this lining. And actually what I can do is, whoop, so you can see it's a little bit sticky. I'm just going to stick this down. Okay, so I've got that on pecan pie, and I'm going to stick it on my next color. I just have to see, oh, they're in the light. Just have to see where the little edge is to pull this off. Oop. Here we go. This is copper clay. And then lastly, I've got crumb cake. So I want to just cut out some of these trees. And what I'm trying to do is get some glue on the back of these very fine images, like delicate, fine images. Now, in the past when I've used this die, I've just used my white glue and just, dotted it on there. And that works fine too. Oh, it's not near you. Yeah, I was thinking it's probably south of you. Or is that south? I don't know. But I would be very stressed too. It's every year. It's so stressful for you guys in these fire zones. Oh, so scary. Fire is a scary thing, isn't it? I know that people who live through tornadoes and hurricanes and things, everything's scary, but there's something about a fire that just feels really scary to me. Okay, so what we've got here is our mini cut and emboss machine, and we're just going to cut these trees. And fingers crossed that they're not too sticky and that they come off beautifully. I'm just going to stay positive. Okay. I seem to be busy today, like busier than normal. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I had a what did I have today already? I've had a couple things. I had a Zoom, I think, this morning. Then I had a that was looking at the new September to December catalog, mini catalog. That's because we're demonstrators, we can see it early. So we're really spoiled. If you want to see it early, you won't be able to see it till September 1st. But if you want to see it early, that you can become a demonstrator with me, and I will show you it. Anyway, so we had that, and then I had a leaders meeting with Stampin' Up, and basically left it a little bit early to jump on here today. So I just feel like I've been running around like a chicken today. Okay, so I'm going to just peel this off, and this is a delicate die. Can you see here that we don't want any of these pieces? So it's probably going to be a little fiddly. So bear with me while I grab this. And I think what I'm going to do, because sometimes things you think are helpful are not helpful. Does that ever happen to you? You think, I'm going to do that because that's going to be really a lot easier. But sometimes I find, yeah, that's coming. Okay. Sometimes I find, why don't I just use my glue? Right? Okay, I've got that and that. So you can sort of see it's coming out here. There we go. I've just got to get that little bit out. There. Okay. So I'm going to just take this. Now, this has got glue on the back now, all over. So I'm just going to stick this down. like that. Okay. That's number one done. Let's do one more. This is just a little picky, but you just kind of go with it. It's a little bit, I don't know what's easier actually. Is it easier to use the white glue or is it easier to use these sheets? And I think they both have their advantages. So you do what works for you. Okay. I'm gonna just turn this over, but I like the fact that came out. Actually, I think this is easier because it came out pretty easy, didn't it? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so then we're gonna put this one over here. Okay, just like so. I like the fact that it's got glue all over, so it's not going to come apart. And then one last one is our crumb cake. You were looking at the new catalog. Yeah, well, I can't blame you, Keisha. It was pretty. Lots of eye candy for us to look at, right? I love the Christmas catalog. Every year I like it. Got some fun new things in it. Very pretty things. Okay, come on out of there. See, it's just, you just kind of have to fiddle. And that's okay because it's worth it. Because as I say, the glue is everywhere you want it to be and really nowhere you don't want it to be. So that's good. There we go. You get, these sheets are 6 by 12 and you get, gosh, how many did you get? 12? Let's see. 12. They'll last you forever. Honestly, they just last forever. And they're so good for these picky little dies. I'm just going to do this. Okay. So there. I was just kind of going with the same colors. So what have we got here? We've got crumb cake, we've got copper clay, and we've got pecan pie. Okay. Now, I am going to be making what's called a step card. So I'm going to grab another piece of the same boho. Now this one I've cut to 3 by 8.5. You could cut it 2 by 8.5. You could cut it, 4 by 2 by 8.5, whatever you want. But 3 was wide enough for what I needed. So I then scored it at 4 1/4. And we're just going to do the same thing with our bone folder. Okay. And then I'm going to grab another piece of designer series paper, different pattern. And I've cut this one 3 by 4 1/4. So it's going to fill in that entire midsection. Okay. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So this is what we've got so far. And what we're going to be doing is, this is a step card, but in the old days, I call it the old days, we used to have to take a piece of cardstock and then use our trimmer and cut slits and have it stand up. And it was a bit complicated. And then some brainy person, not me, figured out a way to do this and call it a faux step, which means F-A-U-X, which just means that we create the same illusion as a step card, but it's so much easier. So I'm just going to grab my tear and tape. And I'm just going to put a strip along here. Now the front piece, we just want to make sure that we're not going higher than 1 inch because it's going to be stuck to this 1 inch panel, right? And if it goes higher, it's going to stick to this. And then, well, that'd be a bit of a disaster. We wouldn't be able to open it. Okay, that's good. I love tear and tape. And it is meant to be stuck on and torn, hence the name tear and tape. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, gosh, I hope that's not wider than 1 inch. Nope. So this is kind of, you got to eyeball this, okay? Now, you could be picky and you could measure, but you could also make it so it goes further over here, like it has to go in the middle. But for this card, I'm going to line it up as close as I can to the middle. I'm not going to worry too much about it, okay? And then on this side, we're going to put more tear and tape. Okay. Now, in this particular case, I still keep it to just the bottom. I don't want there to be a problem with trying to open and close it, which can happen if there's too much glue or tape or adhesive, okay? So I'm just going to pull those off. Oop. No, pull it off over here. There you go. Okay. And then we're just going to line that up and give it a nice little glue there. Move all of this out of the way. Okay, so that's what we've got. Okay, so we've got this focal point in the middle. We've got our snowy background or muted background. We've got our trees. Okay, so let's put something on here that's a focal point. I am going to grab the stamps from the set, so the sleigh and the horse. Instead of stamping it in Memento, I'm going to stamp it in basic gray. I don't want it as dark as Memento. So I'm just going to add my ink. Got my piece of basic white. There we go. And we just got that nice subtle gray. So it's not too dark, okay? Anybody else got anything to say? Somebody's come on. Oh, hi. I love this fun fold too. Thank you. Gian, is that how you say it? I've got Jan. It might be an A. It's very small on my screen, so I apologize if I've pronounced your name wrong, but welcome from YouTube, looks like. All right, let's color this. Now, I have chosen some very muted colors. Let's bring them in, and I'll show you what I've chosen here, okay? So this is maybe not what you'd associate with this kind of card, but I like the lighter colors. So we do have the boho, and I've gone light on all of these, right? Yeah, light boho, light balmy blue. Then I've got both of the soft seafoam, both of the smoky slate, the light crumb cake, and then this one here. If you guys notice these ones, these have numbers. They don't have names. This is SU1000, and I believe there's 12 different blends that are in skin tone. So we've got a lot of different color skin tones that can cover off all of our people. Okay, so you can make it personalized there. All right, so let's color this in. This is a bit far away, isn't it? Should I bring it down a touch? There we go. How's that? That's a bit better. Okay, so let me start with my sleigh. And I'm going to take my, I've got to try to remember what I did. I liked what I did, but then I can never remember what I did. I think I took, let's see. I think I took the balmy blue. Oh gosh, don't remember what I did, you guys. Should have written a note, but I'm going to take a balmy blue, just go around. And you can see I'm not being really picky here. I'm just kind of coloring that in. Then I want to add maybe just a little bit of the balmy blue. Just like that. Maybe like that. Okay, then I cake. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing, blending it. Oh, looks like a rusted out sleigh, doesn't it? But I'm just going to keep going over it until I've dulled it a bit. Now, of course, I'm going to be cutting this out, so I don't have to worry if I go over the edges or the side. That's kind of what I've got. Then my horse, I'm going to use the crumb cake, but I'm just going to add a little bit of crumb cake on sort of my edges, I guess you'd say, right? Not going to put a lot on here, just a little shadowing, really. Oh, and then I guess I should put it on his tummy. Okay, then I'll grab that light smoky slate and we'll do his tail. Now you could add a bit of dark to this, like his hoofs, but I didn't want to. I just wanted it to be, I wanted it to be really subtle and not too dark. I could add a little bit of the dark just so I get a little bit of contrast, but nothing major. Okay. Then let's see here. I'm going to go with my Balmy and his harness here. And his little bit. There's other kind of reins here. I'll just do that just to tie that into the colors here. Oh, his ears. Let's do his ears. Crumb cake. Okay. So really, really, really subtle. Can you see that? Don't want anything too stark. People. Let's do the people. So remember I said I use this color SU1000. Sounds like a computer, isn't it? Sounds like that computer in Space 2001: A Space Odyssey. Did anybody else watch that 100 years ago when it came out? Open the bay pod doors, Helen. Anybody else know what I'm talking about? Okay, gonna grab that sea foam. I love sea foam. I think she would have a little sea foam and a little sea foam muff. And maybe even this blanket would be sea foam. So I'm just kind of adding a bit of color. And I think this person here would be in balmy blue. And I think I just added balmy blue here too. I don't really want to make too many colors here. So let's do a little strip of balmy blue and maybe on the little pom-pom. And then we'll grab the dark or the light boho. And we'll just give that a little pop of blue. Okay, so that's the coloring. Really simple. Let me hold that up. Can you see that? Let's cut it out. Okay, so you know I like to put my tape on to hold my die in place so that I'm cutting out carefully because they can shift sometimes when you're cutting, right? So let's keep those down. Bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. We can just use our little mini one. Put that on. Oh, I need to trim that down just a titch. My piece of paper is just a titch too big. Okay. There we go. We had rain here for 2 days, which we needed. Cooler temperature and rain. My garden was grateful, and I didn't have to go out and water my husband's tomatoes, which was good. And today it's a beautiful day. I think it's like only 23 degrees, maybe 24, and so it's a beautiful day. Okay. Pull that off, and then look at that. Don't you love when didn't cut that out. I haven't had that happen in a long time. But if that ever happens to you guys, it's really simple. Stick it back down. Take your die back. Come on, take our die back. Stick it back on, and you can feel it grab. Okay, so there it's grabbed back into place. And where it didn't cut is over here. So I'm not going to put the whole thing through. I'm just going to put that in through and get that cut. There we go. Because that's the only bit that wasn't cutting. Okay. And then where we go. So there it is. Yay. Take that off. Now, only other thing I have to die cut, and I might as well do it now, is I've got a little piece, I hope, here it is, a little piece of silver foil. And this is just the rails or the running rails of the sledge, the sleigh. And let's put that through. And then I can put away my Stampin' Cut and Emboss. There we go. Okay. There we go. Yay. Here's my little guy over here. So this is just going to get glued on to underneath my sled. I'm just going to use my glue. Now again, this would have been a good thing to put through the with the adhesive sheet, wouldn't it? gonna, whoop, let's put a little diddle dabble do ya, just like dippity do. Aging myself again. I think it was dippity do, or was it Bro Cream? It's one of them. I'm just putting a very little bit of glue on here, okay? And then we're just gonna line that up. You could also use just basic gray if you wanted something, you know, just to blend in with this scene. But I like the silver. I think it kind of pops, right? Now, I've got Diane on my call, so we got to add some Wink of Stella, right, Diane? I'm just going to add it to my sleigh because it's cold out. And this is just like the frost on a cold winter night. Kind of Dr. Zhivago time almost, isn't it? Okay, so where is our card front? And I'll show you how I'm going to put this on. So this is going to go here, but let's pop it up. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see here. Yeah, I can just put a bunch of these on. Just don't want to go high because obviously we don't want it stuck to here, right? So just kind of put where you think it should go. And then I'll just stick these on. I'm going to stick that first one on. Okay. And then I can go and add a few more. You guys been playing with this set at all? You guys are so quiet. Anybody talking? Let's see. Back over here. Yes, you need the sparkle. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Goanne. Thank you very much. I love the colors. Sometimes you just don't want, like, you know, it's traditional like reds and blues and bright colors, but with the color of this DSP, I really just wanted to keep it simple and keep it muted. Okay, so that's what we've got. It's our little scene so far. Now let's put on a sentiment because, you know, we need a sentiment, right? All right, so I've got a piece of boho and I'm going to use the sentiment sending warmth your way. And you guys know me well, so I'm going to emboss it in white. I just like embossing, especially around Christmas. I'm using Christmas stamps. I like embossing. Okay, so let me see where I'm in here. Here we go. Okay, and then I'm going to add some basic white. But before I do that, well, maybe after I do that, I need a, oh, here we are. I need just a little scrap piece of paper. Okay, so let me just, so I can tap that off. And of course, I use my embossing buddy. Did I kind of brush over that, right? But I think most of you know about embossing buddies. They're like, they look like this. They're a little packet of powder. And when you put it over your cards, the oil from your fingers or just stuff that's stuck to your cardstock. And it makes it a nice surface for your embossing so you don't get stray embossing powder everywhere. Okay, so sending warmth your way. So just heat set that. You can see. I love heat embossing. You probably figured that out, right? Because every time I make a card, it seems I'm using my heat embossing. I don't know. I just like it. It pops. Okay. Just make sure you keep everything in a cool, dry place, your embossing powders, because if you don't, they can lose their ability to pop. Find it, especially with colors like black, gold, and silver, that they do have a shelf life. But if you keep them, dry, you should be okay. I'm just going to trim that at an angle, and then this one I'm just going to trim straight. I'm just using my scissors, okay? And then let's pop this up too. So this is actually a pretty easy card to recreate. We've only been together for about 35 minutes, and I've already got my card all done. And I did all my scoring with you live, so you can see I've been talking and showing you stuff. So you definitely could make this card pretty quickly. Sending warmth your way. Okay, so I really like this scene. I thought it looked like, you know, they're going through the woods and passing this little farm. Now, the card I made yesterday was my sample. I'll show you it. It's the same card, but I use different DSP. So it's a lot more muted. And then I added some of those snowflakes. Oh, sorry, that scared me. Something fell in my thing. It scared me. I used some of the snowflakes from the suite. Okay, so kind of it's the same card, but just different DSP because there's so much to choose from. And on this one, I did not add the extra trees, but I kind of like the extra trees. I don't know. What do you guys think? Extra trees, not extra trees. So this is a bit simpler. It's got a little bit more. Okay. Let me show you some other cards. Now, remember I made you this card. We made this one together a couple weeks ago. So this is using the Patchwork Pieces dies, which I love. I don't know if you can see, but this is actually cut out. These pieces aren't joined, and then there's just a little channel between them. You just spread them out a bit. That's from that Patchwork Pieces. And then the other card is a card I got in a swap. Look at this one. Now, this is really a very muted card. We're using Petal Pink here. And we've got a piece of the Designer Series paper, and I hope you can see this has been embossed with that, is it Timeless Torn embossing folder? So that's just been run through and you get that nice texture on it. And then we've got the little deer that was cut out of the DSP. Isn't that cute little baby card? And then when you open it, you've just got another strip, just this side of the inside the Petal Pink done with the embossing. Isn't that cute? Really simple. That's another nice fun fold. Anyway, that's today's cards. You come back over here and move these down. I think it's because they're sort of popping up. I'll try and hold it down. There we go. Alrighty. Anybody got anything? That is a cute baby card, isn't it? I know. I got it in a swap. It's super cute. Let's see. Anybody else got anything to say? See, I've got a Facebook follower here and I can't see the name, so I apologize. Somebody said hello, but I can't say hello back. Thanks, Mo. Yeah, it's a nice step card. Pretty simple, right? And like I said, I like the muted colors. You know, so it's not so bright. So if you like this bundle and you want to join a class, my class is on August the 29th. It's on Facebook, so you can join live or you can watch it later. And you get the fabulous goodie bag with half a pack of the paper. So, and we're going to be making a different kind of fun fold card in that class. I won't tell you what it is, but it's another fun fold, but it's not a step card. It's a different fun fold. So hope you'll join. All the links are on all my videos at the end. You'll see it in the description. Okay. All right, you guys. So thanks for joining me today. Really appreciate it. I will see you again on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock Pacific time. Okay. And until then, happy stamping, you guys.